For Crema Media's Polity, I'm Sane Dhlamini. ANC Tshwane Mayoral candidate Thoko Didiza joins me to discuss politics and her mayoral candidacy. For those who might not know you, who is Thoko Didiza?
Well, Thoko Didiza is a woman, a mother, an activist.
Recent surveys have revealed that the ANC is not doing well in Tshwane. Do you have a strategy to retain Tshwane?
Well, the ANC has a strategy. At the moment, we are actually on the ground mobilizing the voters to vote for the ANC. We've not started now because of the surveys that have been undertaken lately, but we had been doing our work since last year in particular. Actually, from the 2014 elections, we identified what were the concerns of local communities, and we worked with our team in the municipality to address those, but also working with our structures on the ground, have been going to communities, reporting back what we've done since 2011 in terms of our manifesto, where there are some challenges that we still need to continue to address, and listening to the views of the communities. One of the outcomes, for instance, the outcomes of our manifesto is drawn from the issues that people have said, these are the ANC, these are the things that the ANC has to address going forward.
You have kickstarted your campaign. How are people receiving you so far, and what are their concerns?
I must say that I don't think it's Thoko kickstarting her campaign. I found the campaign in Tshwane already in progress. You'd recall that I've been working in Limpopo most of the time because that's where I've been deployed. So I had to come here in Tshwane to join the comrades in the campaign, given that I've now been made the mayoral candidate for the city. So we've been working with the comrades, doing door-to-door in various communities, but also meeting sectors, listening to their issues.
As a Tshwane resident yourself, what are you planning to do for the community of Tshwane?
I don't think it's about what Thoko wants to do for the community of Tshwane as an individual. Thoko, as a candidate of the ANC, in terms of the ANC manifesto, there are certain things that we have identified that we needed to continue to engage on, particularly the service delivery issues that are there that we still need to continue to confront, relates to the issue of infrastructure, for instance. Those relate to issues of water infrastructure. That's why we have to address the issue of water concerns in Hammanskraal. I've already found that project in progress, because in some of the areas in Hammanskraal, the issue of water was a major issue. So the dam is and the water treatment plant is being built in that area to address those concerns. So we'll have to continue in terms of the coming year to conclude those. Issues of roads are other issues of concerns that we are going to address. Issues of, transport services. Again, those are some of the issues where you still have no bus services in certain areas such as Mutsweding, and those are some of the areas we have to address because Mutsweding is part of Tshwane. We also have to deal with issues of unemployment. So some interventions have already been made by the city, such as, the issues of expanded public works program, and we have to continue with those. And SEPO 10,000, one of the programs of looking at how we could support small and medium enterprises. Issues of formalization of townships, particularly on those areas where you have had informal settlements for a longer period. Interventions there would relate to looking at formalizing some of those areas, but some of them you might need to unbundle because of the concentration of people. So not all of them might have stands there, but also it would be determined by the geological survey whether on that piece of land where people may be residing on shacks can actually be formalized as an established township. And if not, we'll have to look for alternative land to make sure that we can house those communities.
There is a view that you have been appointed as the ANC mayoral candidate in Tshwane in order to try and overcome factionalism in the ANC. Do you have a plan to bring greater unity?
Well, firstly, the ANC, in its own assessment, they felt that we needed to work collectively as the leadership of Tshwane, as comrades here, to make sure that we deliver on the promises of the ANC in respect of what it will do at the local government. The structures of the ANC, in terms of your elected structures, will be working together with myself in my capacity as the mayoral candidate, but also as a member of the ANC in Tshwane. I will be working with the comrades to make sure that whatever difficulties that may be that hinders our progress, those are addressed.
Were you surprised about the response from the people who did not want you to be the ANC's mayoral candidates for Tshwane?
Again, I think as an ANC, not as Thoko, we were concerned about the way in which we saw the destruction of property as well as the looting that happened. But more importantly, what saddened us was that in addition to those destructions, we also lost lives of people. And one of the things I would say, and knowing that that's the view of the ANC, that we really would appeal to our society that where there are issues of tensions, there may be issues of service delivery, there may be issues of discontent about one issue or the other. It's important that we resolve conflict in a peaceful manner.
Was it an easy decision for you to accept the nomination?
I can't say it's an easy decision or a difficult decision. I've been in the ANC as a member and as its activist, and I know that there will be a point in time where the organization may want you to serve at a particular level as its member.
You have said that you were unfazed by the recent violence that we witnessed after your nomination. What keeps you going?
I think to say unfazed would be an incorrect statement. What I was saying, because I think the question when it came, it was personal to say, how do you feel? For me, it wasn't, I didn't take it as an issue personally as Thoko, but it was really to say, how do we deal with the events as we've seen unfolding as an ANC? And that's why you saw, for instance, the ANC went to communities, spoke to communities, even were responsible in removing some of those barricades and cleaning the areas that were affected, because we believe as a movement that it was an incorrect way of handling issues, no matter what.
What are you going to do differently from the current Tshwane Mayor, Mr. Kgosientso Ramakgopa?
I'm not sure when we say what one will do differently. We are guided by what the policies of our organization says, but at the same time, in terms of local government sphere, you have got statutes, regulatory frameworks, as well as policies that guides how municipalities operate in undertaking its business.
What will you miss most about being an active member of parliament?
I'm not sure whether it's a question of what I'll miss most. The spheres differ in terms of their responsibility. I'm actually looking forward to a challenge working at the local government sphere. I've been a legislature where we develop laws that govern different spheres and also different sectors. So I've been on the lawmaking side and also looking at issues of accountability from the executive. I've been a member of the executive as a minister, since 1994 as a deputy minister until 2008. So I was more on the executive side, where we really implemented on policies of government guided by the various legislation and expanding resources as it's stipulated by, the programs of the different departments. Now I'm at a local government sphere. I'm actually looking forward to a challenging period, because at a local government, this is where it lands. Whatever programs or policies, their impact are felt by people at localities. So it's for me a very dynamic space, because you contend with different issues at different times, because it touches people. When in the Freedom Charter we say the people shall govern, actually it is felt at that sphere, because this is where we interface with people about their issues of development on an ongoing basis. If you look at the local government sphere, for instance, the way in which you come up with programs are driven by the integrated development program, or plan rather, where you work and engage communities about what they think are the development priorities of their area. And those are fed into the budget and then implemented. So in a sense, there's a very dynamic relationship between government and the people at the local government sphere, which is very exciting.
That was ANC Tshwane Mayoral candidate Thoko Didiza speaking to Creamer Media's Polity about politics and her mayoral candidacy.